the unexpected, then we're more likely to have people be receptive to some kind of new way of thinking about the presentation of story in a game.
I really liked your link, I think, in Facebook the other day about the samurai woman, and I actually started researching that. I didn't realize that there was such a thing as a samurai woman, back hundreds and hundreds of years ago. It's an interesting concept to see, that not even known, that was interesting.
Yeah, well, I think that this is, again, one of the travesties of the world that we live in is that the majority defines our perception of reality. And that leads to creativity that's limited by what's expected. And so I think that as a creator, one of the things that's a responsibility is to do things that are unexpected, sometimes just for the sake of shaking people up and making them realize that things don't always have to be homogenous. They don't always have to fit into an expected box. Sorry.
It's okay. In chat room, we will have questions in a little while, so save them up and you can ask them in a while.
So I have a problem. That's that I thought this was going to be a 1 hour
It
interview.
is, and we're running like a little late. Let's
Yeah.
see. We're at 1 hour and 2 minutes.
Yeah, I have a meeting that's come into the studio just now, so I can give you like 5 more minutes.
Okay. Let's see. Some things that people are asking for Akinero. I understand it's going to be free to play.
It is free to play, and it's out already. People can go to angry-red.com and play it in the web browser with a client download on Mac. And,
Is that what I'm playing
Windows.
right now, or is that considered like just a partial beta?
Well, I mean, it's the game, but one thing people should keep in mind is that the game is going to evolve and improve. So we've got a roadmap of features that we're going to be releasing hopefully by the end of this week that includes things like co-op and crafting and PvP arenas and bringing it to tablets and bringing it to Linux. And I mean, there's just a huge and also like I said, like bringing more story elements. So when people play the game today, I mean, they should realize that this is just sort of the tip of the iceberg. That there's a lot more content and features on the way.
You have said that you feel as though consoles are, or shall I say that the mobile platform is kind of the new modern console. And I know you have some games coming out for that too, which we can talk about another time. But right now, I'm assuming that means Akinero will come out exclusively for PC and probably not for console. Is that the case?
Well, it's going to come out on, and already is out on Mac and on Windows, and we're also having, we're going to release a Linux version, plus onto tablets, so Android and Apple iOS tablets. I don't know that there'll be a console version. There may be, but one of the things that's nice about where and how we're distributing now is that when we release the game initially, it doesn't have to be the final version. We can constantly improve and add more content and new features. And so if you look at the other projects that we have out and have released so far, that's the case, that every week, every 2 weeks, we're putting new features, new maps, new characters, new weapons into them. And that's all driven by the relationship that we have with our customers and the feedback that they're giving us about what they want to see in those games. The thing that has kind of bored me with the console model, at least the retail model, is that you put all this data on a disk, and then the console itself makes it quite difficult to get new content there to update. And the whole pipeline that's in place, from Microsoft or Sony, makes that a really difficult and costly thing for developers to do frequent updates to content and features.
Okay, last question. Do you have any personal influences that have gone into your games, though you might not know about, things that, little touches you decided to put in that, maybe this character was someone you knew or something like that?
Well, I mean, this question comes up all the time. I don't have a really exciting answer for it other than my own personal narrative, being something that I think was established by virtue of my childhood, and it was a very kind of unusual childhood in the sense that there was a very strong dichotomy between the households in which I grew up. On one side, it was fundamentalist religion, and on the other side, it was like super wild hippie. And so I grew up in this sort of, super hot on one side and super cold on the other side environment. But in terms of day-to-day inspiration, it's just from everything and everywhere. And that's one of the reasons why I so enjoy living in China, because every single day is an opportunity to be exposed to something new, whether it's a new understanding of culture or language, or exposure to new types of food, or traveling and seeing different sites and locations. And to me, that's the most important thing, is that every day, you create an opportunity to read, hear, see, do something new, and that's where all of our inspiration for all of our creativity comes from.
Awesome. Chat room, I'm sorry we don't have time to ask actual questions, but we will hopefully, I can see if you'll answer them possibly at another point in like Twitter or something. So thank you for coming to the chat.